¿Tú sabes por qué esto sabe dulce? ¿Le pusiste algo? Un poquito de sabor, ¿sabes? Para que supiera distinto.
I had a laugh researching this verb because I thought it was so simple. Then Spanish did its thing. As it turns out, this verb is not only irregular, but it looks exactly the same as an entirely different verb. Yo soy Maura de Spring Spanish, and if that dialogue looked crazy to you, I gotcha. Empecemos.
Número 1. Yo sé. Yo también sepo dulce. ¿Será la crema corporal que me prestaste?
No sé, puede ser. Esa crema es de cacao después de todo.
Sabes, según lo que sé, no se dice sepo dulce. No, ¿es en serio? ¿Y entonces? Se dice yo sé dulce. Igual que yo sé que tú sabes, aunque sea otro significado de saber.
I have a confession to make. Yo siempre he dicho, yo sepo cuando hablo de sabor. Apparently it is a very common mistake. Give me a break. So there. Ahora sabemos algo que la mayoría de los nativos no saben. De nada. All natives would know, though, the chunks inside our essential Spanish chunking kit. Make sure to access the link in the description so you can download it for free. Lo que pasa con saber es que it means two things. To know and to taste. The conjugation for both is exactly the same. So you'll know if it's one or the other by context and logic. También, saber as to know is far more common. Let's check out more examples for both uses. Yo sé, when it means to know. Yo sé hablar inglés. Notice Spanish doesn't need the how English does to talk about what you know how to do. Yo sé nadar, sé pintar, sé coser. Me sé esa canción. No sé nada sobre astrología. Do notice that the very common expression I know has two equally common modalities in Spanish. Yo sé y lo sé. You can choose the one you prefer or use both of them as you please. Yo sé, when it means to taste. Después de ir a la playa, yo sé salado. Con esta crema, yo sé dulce. Take into account that to taste like something is definitely a weird idea. Meaning you won't come across this or the need to use it almost never. Este saber es más común conjugado con otras personas, pero no con yo. Número 2. Tú sabes.
¿Sabes si tenemos que hacer algo antes de meterlo al horno? Creo que solo hay que ponerle aceite de oliva. ¿Sabes a gloria?
Estás hablando con la salsa. Before I forget, stick around till the end where we'll talk about how come the word sé can have 4 different meanings in Spanish. More examples with tú sabes. ¿Sabes si tus amigos vendrán a la cena con sus parejas? This sabes si is the chunk you should learn. Then you can add whatever you want afterwards. ¿Sabes? This little question works as the you know in English. It's a filler word, so not a real question. Very common to say it before or after expressing a thought. Si no sabes tú. Chunk alert! Si no sabes tú is one of those idiomatic, very native ways to say you don't know something. Para ser más precisa, use it when the person asking the question should know the answer. Incluso si tú sí la sabes. For example, every time I ask my mom things like, Mamá, ¿dónde está mi delineador de ojos? She would say, si no sabes tú. She might have known, but she was kind of teaching me to grow up and account for my own things. More examples with tú sabes. Sabes a café. You could use something like this after you kiss someone, for example. ¿Cómo sabes tan sabroso? I would playfully bite a baby and say this to them. Por supuesto, there's a time and a place where telling someone that saben a algo might be sexual. Pero, hey, you'll only know how they taste if the situation is sexual already, so go ahead and use it as such. Conjugating this saber with tú is far more common than conjugating this saber with yo, aunque sigue sin ser la conjugación más común. What I want you to see is that conjugating this verb when it means to know is just as common for every person. But when it means to taste, that is not at all the case. Número 3. Él, ella, usted, ello, sabe.
Sí, es que esta salsa sabe buenísimo. Quedó genial.
Mauricio sabe lo que hace con las salsas.
Realmente sabe cocinar en general.
Sí, pero mejor que no lo sepa que después se pone insoportable. More examples with él, ella, usted, ello, sabe. ¿Quién sabe? This works just as in English. It's mostly a way to say that nobody knows. Paulísima made a video that you can check out here, where she discusses this and other alternatives to no sé. Pregúntale a tu hermana. Ella seguro sabe. Nadie sabe qué pasará en el futuro. More examples with él, ella, usted, ello, sabe, when it means to taste. El té verde sabe a tierra. Esto no sabe a nada, ponle sal. Sabe como la comida de mi mamá. Now this is the common conjugation for saber when it means to taste, since you're usually talking about food and food is an ello. Número 4. Nosotros, nosotras, sabemos.
Vale, igual nosotras también sabemos cocinar muy bien.
Es verdad. ¿Sabes de quién no hemos sabido nada?
¿De quién?
De Victoria. ¿Será que sabe que sabemos que está molesta con Mauricio? Por cierto, Juan does have a video about saber versus conocer, which you should watch so you won't confuse these two very similar verbs. With nosotros, nosotras, we're not even gonna bother with saber when it means to taste. Too unlikely and too useless. Let's focus on more examples with saber when it means to know. No sabemos nada de Victoria. This one's interesting because English wouldn't use to know for this. Spanish does talk about people you have heard from or not with saber. Las mujeres sabemos de discriminación. Nos llamaron para que sepamos que llegarán tarde. Sepamos is still the present tense but in the subjunctive, por si acaso. Número 5. Ustedes, ellos, ellas saben.
Que nosotras sabemos, sí, pero no creo que sepa que los demás saben también.
La verdad, ustedes supieron antes que yo. Yo solo me enteré por ti.
No, ahora quedo yo como la chismosa porque todos saben.
Isn't it a good thing that it's the same conjugation for ustedes, ellas y ellos? Eso pasa bastante, ¿sabes? Let's drill this into your head with more examples, shall we? Los latinos saben salir de fiesta. Not all. Well, yes, all. Ustedes saben que yo agradezco mucho que estén aquí. Ellos no saben que nosotras sabemos que ellos saben. You can play with this verb in Spanish just as you do in English. Número 6. Los diferentes tipos de sé. Before we go into that table we always show you. Remember I said we'd talk about the word sé? Esta es la cosa. You could find more sé in Spanish y no quiero que te confundan. Let's cover them real quick. We'll omit the one that means I taste like because it's too weird. So we have yo sé patinar. This is the verb to know which we've been focusing on. Use the accent mark. Se llama Alicia. This sé doesn't use an accent mark and it's a type of pronoun in Spanish. Check out Paulísima's video here if you want to understand that better. Por favor, sé amable. Now this sé is actually the verb ser and it also needs an accent mark. Sé que el español puede volverse un poco loco cuando hace cosas como estas. Just remember to put an accent mark when it's a verb and trust that 90% of the time it'll be the verb to know. Let's jump into that table. What do I always say? Concéntrate en los chunks. They'll give you the right conjugation without you needing to memorize abstract rules. Número 7. La tabla. Yo sé. Yo sé nadar. Tú sabes. ¿Sabes si tenemos orégano? Él, ella, usted, ello, sabe. Esto sabe delicioso. Nosotros, nosotras, sabemos. No sabemos nada de Victoria. Ustedes, ellos, ellas, saben. Ustedes saben que yo los amo. I hope you now understand what's up with saber and the little quirky things it does. Click the image on the screen to go straight to our verb series playlist.